I just gave the talk on deep linking into instant apps and full apps. And now this session is the sort of Codelab that follows up that session. So if you guys are interested in having like a hands-on experience of integrating Branch into your app or into your full app, we have a few Branch employees in the room right now. And this is our, the directions will be emailed to you if you visit this link. You just have to hit this link. You'll be sent directions for both instant app and full app. And then you can sort of use the Codelab time to integrate into your app. I wasn't sure if this schedule said this was a Codelab, so I just wanted to spell that out for you guys. And I can show you guys code and stuff for what it works or what it looks like, how it works or what it looks like. All right, so I'll show you guys just a basic instant app with Branch integrated into it. Have you guys built any instant apps by any chance? Regular apps? Yeah, regular apps, okay. Are you guys familiar? So in instant apps, there's a breakdown. Your application is fragmented into, gosh, what is it called? Slices. I don't forget their official name. When you build an instant app, the part that the user will be interacting with will be the feature section of your application. And this is where you would integrate Branch into your instant app to accomplish, I can show you from my previous talk. So to accomplish something like this, where a user clicks a link and then they're taken to a specific piece of content within your instant app, and then they install your app, and then they're taken to the full app, and the same piece of content from the initial link is displayed in the full app. So it's just like an all-around full experience. And you guys know with integrating any SDK into an application, the first thing you have to do is update your build.gradle file. So you just, like it was a full app, you would just go to your instant apps feature section of your instant app build.gradle file. Instant apps are kind of confusing. They're kind of confusing. You get a build.gradle file for each section of your application. But in this case, we would just end up adding Branch to the feature part of the application. And if you guys have questions while I'm talking through this, feel free to let me know. And you can also visit that URL to get the full instructions emailed to you, and you can play with it on your own time. We also have company hoodies for anyone here who finds the time to integrate Branch into an application. I had to build my own app just to get one. I worked there. So you add Branch here. You create an application class. You guys familiar with application classes? Yeah, familiarity there? And this is simply where you just initialize Branch like you're initializing the Facebook SDK or the 17,000 other SDKs you have in your application. You also have to configure your feature manifest file. I don't know if, has anyone here integrated Branch before? I think you did? Yeah, you did yesterday. So it's the same sort of setup where you create your intent filters in your manifest file. In instant apps, you use app links. So you'd want to provide your own app.link domain. And you'll see in the directions which you can go through that Branch allows you to choose your own app.link domain. We handle all the app link file hosting for you, so you don't have to worry about your own web server or own domain. We'll give you something to use for your linking, and it's all completely free. So here you would just define the domain you're using, and then I didn't realize this when I first built instant apps, but within the same intent filter, you also have to include a default URL for the domain that you use. And then at the bottom, to tie this to your Branch account, you just include your Branch key, which you'll get through the sign-up process. And now you've set up, and here's the application class which I showed you before. So you have Branch being initialized, you have your key set, you have your domain set, and then within your main activity, you first override on new intent to make sure that the intent that gets delivered to your application gets passed to Branch. And then you simply initialize Branch in on start. And whatever link the person uses to enter your application is passed back to you with an adjacent object called referring params. So you can say things like referring params.getString article title or article description. And that's how you parse data out of the link that was originally clicked to enter your application. Instant app talk. The show install prompt is something we added to Branch because Google allows you to use it to pass a string from your instant app to your full application. And that is basically how the magic works. We use the same function, show install prompt, to pass all of the link data from the link that the person clicked when first entering your application. So they enter the app the first time, all the information is delivered, and then you have a nice little button on your application that says install full app, which is right here. And that install full app button will pass the referring params, which is the data from the initial link click, through the Play Store. Have you guys ever used the install listener before to capture data from the Play Store? So the install listener will, I saw one nod in the back. The install listener will capture referring data from the Play Store, which the Play Store broadcasts to your application when it opens. And that's what we hook into to receive the broadcast, which contains the link data from your initial click that you use to enter the instant application. Does that make sense? Okay, it's cool. And from there, it's like literally a 10-minute process to integrate Branch into an instant app, and that's literally the entire process, other than signing up on the dashboard. So I'll show you guys configuring a Branch dashboard account for your application. So I was just building a demo app before called Leaflet. Leaflet :/ would be my URI scheme for launching the application. Older versions of Android required URI schemes for deep linking. Newer versions do not. You can just use app links, but we support both, so that if someone on an older device clicks a link, now this is not necessarily applicable to instant apps, because if they're not on an older device, if they're using instant apps, but still, it's useful. You would fill in a URL to route the person if they do not have the application installed, and then your app's package name. And you guys are familiar with the SHA cert fingerprint, which you have to submit when you submit to the Play Store. So you just save that into your link settings. And now we'll know where to route users on your device when they click one of your links. What's really cool about Branch is that we aren't just Android, although, I mean, if I could have it my way, maybe we would be. But we also support iOS, so if your company also has an iOS app, the same links which your Android users are sharing out to people will function correctly as Branch links. And just to let you guys know, Branch links are just dynamic deep links that pass data through the install process. I talked about this in my previous talk, but for those of you who weren't here, it's just an incredibly efficient way to bring people into your application and to show them the right piece of content. I've had people come up to the booth. I had a woman yesterday tell me that her conversion rate went from 77% to like 98 or 99% when she implemented Branch, because people were clicking links and then seeing the content they were expecting to see once they opened up her application. So it's a really smooth way to do onboarding. What's really cool about, let me go to my slides. What's really cool about, so before Instant Apps, Branch had a feature called Deep Views, and Instant Apps are basically the evolution of Deep Views. Before, when you would click a Branch link, it would take the person to an automatically generated website, which would show them a preview of the content they were going to see within your application once they got it. We found that when people would click a link that would route them to the Play Store or the App Store, they didn't know what was going on, and they would immediately exit out of it. And there'd be a drop-off rate of like roughly 90% when people would click a link for your application. So we came up with this thing called Deep Views, where people would click a link for your app. First, they'd be taken to Chrome and like, oh, this is the CD you wanted to listen to, or the shoes you wanted to buy, or the concert you wanted to go to, or whatever, the food you wanted to eat. And then you click Get App, and it takes them to the Play Store, has them install the app, and then the app would open up to that initial piece of content that they saw in the Deep View. Google's Instant Apps are really cool because you don't have to do full screen. You still get you don't have to worry about an interstitial. It's more so now you're bringing the person to a completely functional section of your application. Ticketmaster has an awesome integration with us so that you can actually click a link from their application, have an instant app downloaded to your device. The device opens, the application launches, it recognizes the link you clicked, shows you the tickets you wanted to see, and you can click Buy Now, and then the app exits, and that's it. There's no install process, there's no friction. People are able to accomplish exactly what they wanted to accomplish without having to augment the storage space on their phone or worry about background services being executed and deriving their location throughout the day. And so what makes Deep Views useful is older versions of Android do not support instant apps. I believe 6 and below do not, like Marshmallow and below. So in those cases, with Branch, you can route users to a Deep View. give them a preview of the content they're going to see, and then they're taken directly to your application. For those of you who weren't at the previous talk before this lab, if you have any questions about Branch or Instant App Stuff or anything like that, let me know. If anyone would like to spend time integrating or trying to integrate Branch into an app, if you have your laptop and stuff with you, it's a lab, feel free to hang out and try to do it. I'll be here coaching you guys or showing you how to use Branch, how to integrate it into an application. And like I said, just go to our URL here, and you'll be sent all the directions for our lab, and we'll walk you through the process. And also, you obviously don't have to do it right now. I just want to give you guys the information. We're here until the end of the day. So if you stop by the booth later today and show me that you integrated Branch into an app, even if it's just a Hello World app, you get a company hoodie. And otherwise, yeah, just enjoy the space, hang out, and build an app if you'd like to. Thank you, guys.